Welcome back to Geeks Are Sexy. I'm Jason LeDuc, and you've joined us for our panel discussion. This is my favorite part of the show because we get to get different perspectives from all of our guests this week on a number of different topics. And so we've got back Thomas Kenny from Northwest Career College, Amy, who just joined us from the payroll company, and Lene Forbes from Forbes Realty Group, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I want to make sure I get that right. So I do my homework, I do my research. I'm just really forgetful sometimes. So, so what I want to talk about today, because we have Thomas coming from Northwest Career College, and in our segment before we talked about four-year college isn't always the right thing for everyone.
Yes.
And one of the things that our K through 12 education system, not just here in Las Vegas, but kind of in the United States, focuses on is getting everybody ready for four-year college.
Yeah.
So they choose to do certain things that may or may not be great for kids when they're coming out of high school. So if you keep up with the paper here in Las Vegas, the news, education is always a topic here. There's a lot of opinions and politics around it here, as I'm sure there are in the rest of the country. But let's start with you, Thomas. What do you think the skills and the education that kids need coming out of K through 12 to be successful, especially if they're not really interested or they don't think their career path lies along going to a four-year college?
Honestly, one of the biggest things that I've seen working with our students coming straight out of high school is a lack of writing skills. That is one of the primary focuses, is that they're not prepared to correspond in a professional setting. Basic email skills, basic preparing of written memos, submitting projects and stuff like that. And I've seen that be something that we've really placed a huge emphasis on, is increasing training on how to write emails professionally, how to communicate in a professional manner, because whatever profession you go into, that's going to be something that you can take with you and make use of that.
So how many emojis are okay in a professional email?
And that's something that I've slipped on a little bit. Every once in a while I'll throw one in, typically zero.
But maybe
zero.
one.
Maybe
depending.
a smiley at the end,
like
if you really want them to know.
You have a family business.
Yeah.
You can put in a couple, right?
Yeah, we'll throw in a couple here and
there. Your
there.
dad's not real strict on that.
No, if you actually see an email from Dr. John, he'll throw in a few more than we do.
Okay.
He'll usually throw a couple.
So keep the emojis to a minimum, folks.
Yes.
Okay. Lene,
I
what
have
do you
something
think?
actually interesting to say about that. I homeschooled my son for a number of years, and one of the things that I benefited from was teaching him how to write.
Yeah.
And my writing skills actually improved for doing that. So I think being involved in your kids' education is huge. Now, as for the emojis, I think they're great because a lot of things are lost in translation. An emoji can actually fix some of that. So there's my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree. Things can get very clinical and very sterile in a professional email. And I learned very much a similar thing when I was an instructor in the Air Force. I was reading a lot of papers and grading a lot of papers, and I learned a lot about how you make the case for something and how you really build an argument for something, having to read a lot of those papers that I had to then go grade and say, you didn't do this so great. But yeah, I think instructing someone, teaching someone how to do something is really the best way to learn it yourself. So what do you think, Amy?
I think that students will really embrace things on an educational side if they're interested in it. But one of the things that I see that's kind of lacking in our youth today is their level of politeness and manners and things like that. And that's something that's not taught in schools. It's something that starts at home and something that they're using around their peers. So when they're ready to join the workforce, or maybe they're right out of high school looking for a new job or a new career, it's very interesting to see, their mannerisms and how they interact with other people. So because all they've had is interactions with students that are their own age or friends that are their own age. So I think that, kind of emphasizing a little bit more of that professional communication would be more ideal.
Yeah, you and I talked about networking in our segment before, and we didn't really get into the nuts and bolts and the keys to doing it successfully, but we've been to plenty of events where people aren't really communicating in a either professional or a friendly and open manner.
Yes,
and
that's true.
And I'd love to see a little more of that, whether it is in our K through 12 education or somewhere like Northwest Career College, or you could probably start a school. Are you open to?
Let's do it.
Are you open to starting another business?
Okay.
Yes.
So here's my idea then. If we were going to go start a school today, what I would do is go back to the old days of schooling when you had the classroom, all the grades in the same classroom, and the older children were teaching the younger children while the teacher was teaching the older children. And guess what? When we go into the workforce, are we going to the workforce in the same age groups? No. older, younger.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, when you said that little statement that people don't have respect or etc., it's because they don't know how to interact with other generations.
Yeah, so
I love that.
little
I agree.
cross-generational communication and collaboration before they actually make it to the workplace. I actually do a
Yeah.
whole workshop on that.
But you just said today,
yeah.
teaching someone to do something helps you learn it.
for sure.
Yes.
Why not? We've taken that power away from our children.
For sure. Now, flipping it on its head a little bit, and not just talking about what all these young kids today don't have that they need to have. Amy? What's a skill you wish you had gotten before you went into the workforce that you didn't get from your education?
Ooh, maybe it's persistence. You know, it's so easy to kind of give up. If you got a bad grade, okay, well, I got this bad grade, on to the next one. Now, what I'm learning in sales and in conversions and all the things I'm doing is to be persistent. And, you know, no doesn't mean no, it means not now. And just that idea.
Just in sales.
Yeah.
Put your Twitter down. Put your Twitter down. Yeah, no. Some people need 7 or 8 interactions minimum
Yes.
before they're willing to buy, and I'm sure you see that
Think
in your
about-
business all the time.
Think about children. They're our best salespeople. What do? They consistently go like this. Mom, can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this? How many times did they say, you said no?
Mhm.
And eventually you go, how many no's to a yes?
Yes.
And we
Very
lose
true.
that as when we get into the workforce ourselves. We're
Mhm.
not like children.
For sure. So what is something that they didn't teach you in dental school that you wish you knew
Oh my goodness.
before
well,
you went into
He
practice?
smiles.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's. I mean, there were a lot of business skills that I feel that I've learned from being out in business rather than in dental school. But one of the most important things that I learned in business that I never learned there is goal setting, and how to do professional goal setting, and use that as a way to create your own reality. Because genuinely, that is something where you can go as far as you want to if you really have clear steps on how to proceed. And oftentimes, nobody teaches you that. You know, as basic as writing it down, specific, measurable goals, and that's something that I feel is incredibly important that I wish I'd, connected with sooner.
It's
Yes.
so funny how that can just change everything. I was working with a client the other day, and she was really worried about this meeting she was going in. I said, what are your goals going to this meeting? She's like, what are you talking about? I don't do that. And so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to
There
make
it
your
is.
life really easy this afternoon,
Yeah.
right? So all of you have teams around you. What is something you do to build a team around you to help you be successful? What are some successful team building skills you found?
No one works for me. Everybody works with me. That's an empowerment for people. And then delegate and let it go.
Okay,
That's the two
delegation, very important, and that comes with building a team around you that you can have a good bit of trust in, and that's a whole separate skill all on its own.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how about you, Amy?
I really just work on raising my life condition every day. I work on just having the biggest life condition where if a problem arises and my team gives up, because sometimes they're my first line of defense. And if they give up, I just kind of make my life so big that I look over and see the problem as something small and present it to them with the most solutions. I try to be, or I am, the most positive person on my team, because without that, I see that, in my industry, it's so easy to get bogged down over laws or over this or that or the way things are said. No, not to me. There's always a solution, and that's what I bring to my team.
She's a good team player.
Yeah.
I think that's so important. You hit on something really important there, that when people are working on a team, they're not looking to their leader just to tell them what to do. They're looking to be inspired, and by having that positive attitude, that's one of the ways you kind of boost yourself up so you can be inspiring to your team. And I think that's a really valuable piece of advice. Is if you're having trouble getting your team to stay positive, be the most positive person on your team.
Absolutely.
How about you?
One of the biggest things that's helped me is just looking for ways in which I can help my team grow in the ways that they're looking to grow professionally. And having them, again, kind of tying it back to goal setting, let me know where they want to be in 3 years, 5 years. Are they looking to become a director of a department? Are they looking to build their own team? And figuring out ways to empower them to do that, either through my own experience or through other people that I've worked with. And I look at myself as a facilitator and somebody who passes information. I work with an incredible team of people. I supervise 10 different program directors, all of these very high level quality people, and they have so many pearls of wisdom that I could never provide. And really, I'm just trying to connect them with each other and find ways for these leaders to work with one another. And that's how I see myself really building a strong team around me.
That's what I learned after 20 years in the Air Force, is when it comes to leadership, it can't be about you as the leader. It's got to be about the members of your team, and not just what they do for you today, but where they're going in the future, where they want to go in the future, and how you're going to help them grow to that point to get there. So we're out of time. That's a great place to stop it. But Thomas, tell everyone again how they can get a hold of you in Northwest Career College.
Feel free to go to our website at northwestcareercollege.edu or give us a call at 702-254-7577.
Amy?
You can visit us at tpcpayrollhr.com or call us directly, 702-861-0164.
And Forbes Realty Group at forbesrealtygroup.com or 213-FLIP-OUT.
Ooh, fancy!
And I think we've decided that we're all going to have all of you back at some point, because you have your show coming up, and when that comes along, and you have some new programs you're going to release, and we just love having you here, Amy.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you everybody for watching. Who joined us? I can't even read that. Greg Forbes, is that somebody you know?
Yes.
So thank you for watching, Greg. Great to have you here. I'm Jason LeDuc. We will be back 4th week of August for the business version of Geeks Are Sexy. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.